safer with a gun in your purse
Yes,
or on your person.
much. I know that if anything were to happen, I would be able to defend myself. I don't want to have to think back and say, oh, I could have stopped that if I had an equalizing weapon.
Rebecca Hargrove, a student at Florida State University, discussing the importance of having a campus carry bill as mass shootings continue on college campuses. Overall, since 2006, there have been more than 200 mass shootings in the United States. In an effort to curb those numbers, the state of Texas is making sure citizens can defend themselves. The state will soon allow college students at public universities to carry firearms on campus. Once this bill is signed, Texas will be the 8th state to allow guns on campus, as noted by the states in green on the map. It's expected to take effect in August at universities and August 2017 at community colleges. Joining us now, the director of Texas Carry, Inc., Alexandra Lainez. She's well known for her role as the plaintiff in the UNF parking lot gun ban lawsuit. Thanks very much for your time and welcome to Newsmax Prime.
Thank you for having me.
How big a victory is this for those who believe in the Second Amendment?
This is pretty important. We've had several sessions in Texas fighting for campus carry. Several groups have been involved and it just hasn't happened. And now they finally are able to have it on campus. We're definitely looking forward to people being able to protect themselves.
Let me ask you this. Arguments abound against this type of legislation, despite the fact that we've seen some disturbing attacks on college campuses. Opponents claim allowing guns on campus might actually escalate dangerous situations, especially if law enforcement comes in and can't differentiate between the attackers and those students who have weapons who are trying to put an end to the attack. What do you say to that argument?
Honestly, the argument is a fallacy at best. Concealed license holders are 21 and older. They've been background checked and vetted by the state's requirements. There's no reason that they shouldn't be able to carry on campus versus anywhere else. Many students travel to campus, they have a commute. They need to be able to protect themselves at all times, and schools should be allowing them to do so. We had the same issue in Florida when I couldn't bring my gun to school. The schools, they just need to allow the students to bring it to campus and be able to defend themselves. One of the biggest arguments that we hear is there's too much partying on campus or it's too high stress around testing. These people carry guns in all aspects of their lives. They're not going to just go crazy on campus.
Let me ask you this. In retrospect, what role do you think your organization played in getting this bill passed down in Austin, Texas?
We were there in support of it, and we definitely went and testified in support of it. We definitely believe that students should be able to bring their guns on campus.
On another related subject, Vince Vaughn recently discussed his stance on firearms. In an interview with British GQ, the actor said, and I quote, "You think the politicians that run my country and your country don't have guns in the schools their kids go to? They do. And we should be allowed the same rights." Now, Vince's comments put him at odds with many people living in Hollywood. What do you believe it will take, Alexandria, to change the negative stigma so many people have about firearms?
I think one of the most important things is education. One of the biggest arguments from a lot of the groups that are against having guns on campus really comes from a lack of knowledge of how firearms work and the laws that surround firearms. It's already illegal for many criminal acts, yet they're committed all the time. We should be allowing law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and stop hindering law-abiding citizens in order to protect criminals.
Alexandria, I'm interested to return to what has transpired on campuses, what you have advocated, and what will come to pass in Texas. Your personal experience, why did you become such a passionate defender of Second Amendment rights?
I got involved several years ago when I lived in Florida because at the time it was just important to me to be able to defend myself. As a young single woman, and especially a woman with a child, it's important to be able to have the opportunity to know that we're protected, especially on school campuses where the argument is there's police or there's call boxes. There have been documented cases of women, especially, being attacked on campuses, and those call boxes and those police are not available to help them.
Alexandria, you've been successful in Texas. Where do you think you will next take the fight? 20 seconds, please, ma'am.
I think that from here, we definitely have some other gun rights issues in Texas that need to be resolved, and we're going to continue working within our own state and working with other state leaders to make sure that gun rights are protected across the U.S.
Alexandra Lainez, the executive director of Texas Carry, Inc. We thank you very much for your time and checking in from deep in the heart of Texas. Now,
thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Coming up, child abuse scandals in the news. Michael Reagan wrote a powerful column for our website. He joins us next as we continue.